Hey friends, welcome back to Call Me After Coffee. My name is Bree, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you've been around for a while, thanks for coming back. This week, in lieu of a vlog, because honestly, I tried to vlog, and this week just sucked. The last week was it was rough, and I think it's rough for everyone. And for us, it wasn't just COVID-19 that was kind of looming, it was other things. I don't want to say anything right now. You guys will find out in time once we've worked everything out. Essentially, Jared and I have had to make some changes. We're fine. It has to do with the little ones, but just some changes, and once everything is worked out, I will share that with you guys. But anyway, I know that everybody is feeling really anxious right now, and I am not an anxious, nervous person, but I am a very empathetic person, and I know that a lot of people are kind of probably feeling this way as well, where you go online and a lot of people are feeling anxious, and I almost feel a heaviness because I'm like feeling feelings for other people. I'm like feeling things in compassion to other people, and it's really heavy, and the internet is both a really loving place right now, and then the other side is obviously way darker and harder, and it's just everything is all chaotic right now. And so while I am not personally that worried, I do feel this kind of heaviness that I think I'm feeling for my friends that I really care about who are really upset and are really anxious, and I'm like feeling that for them. And I just want to say I love you guys, and I'm so happy that you guys watch my videos and take the time, and I hope that they continue to put a smile on your face as they come out during all of this chaos. Some of them are pre-filmed, some of them I'm in the works of filming. But my dear friend Katie, Life Between Words here on YouTube and also on Instagram, had posted a video, I think it was last week, of books to read at uncertain times. Essentially books that kind of give you a hug. And so I thought that was kind of a sweet idea, and I know that other people have probably posted videos as well. I can't remember who offhand, but if I come across some, I'll try and link them down below, and just let you guys see if there's any other kind of cozy feel videos that you guys might want to watch that have come up in my feed or whatever recently, or even if you guys have a video that you want to share, drop a link down below. I will try to make sure that YouTube doesn't mark all these links as spam. So I'm gonna get right into the books. I just want to say this is a very personal video, and I know that these kind of lists will change from person to person to person, so some of these books might not seem cozy at all to you guys, and that's totally fine. Leave your recommendations for other people down below. That's great as well. But these are just books that made me feel good when I was reading them, or that felt like they were really warm in my heart, or something like that. So I'm gonna get into the stack because it is a decent size, and we'll just work our way through it. The first book on the stack is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, and this is kind of one of the ones I was talking about where you might go, is that cozy? But this is a epic fantasy story. It is so interesting. There are so many characters, and I loved the world. I loved the feel. I loved the characters. There are a couple that are really hilarious. Rock in particular, I absolutely love as a side character. I just think he is so funny and like witty and sarcastic all the time. I just love him. But I really enjoyed this book when I read it, and I feel like it's just something that's really comforting, even though it's not really a cozy book. Like, there are wars going on and things like that, but the world itself and just like kind of the escape you get climbing into these characters is something that makes me feel really good. I'm actually reading Words of Radiance right now, but this is the first one in the series, so this is the one that I put in the video. And then next in the pile, we have Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, and I know this one is kind of hit or miss for people because it does have some sketchy aspects to it. That being said, I loved the story, I loved the whimsy, I really enjoyed reading this, and I've actually been meaning to reread it. I was going to reread it last year and I didn't get to it, so maybe I'll do it this year at some point. But I really loved Peter Pan, and this is just another one of those stories that just takes you out of your world and just you can kind of get wrapped up in the whimsy. There are some funny parts in it, and I really enjoyed this, and I would love to read this one again. Third on the pile, we have A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman, and this one, while it has really dark themes, has a very, very heartwarming ending, and I love the found family and the found friendship aspects of this book, which is why it feels like it's just giving me a hug. I really, really loved this story a lot. I read it last summer, and I always have a soft spot for like grumpy old people. I don't know why, but it just I just love reading about characters that are like Uva, so that's why this one ended up on the list. And then the next is another Fredrik Backman. This one I think I liked better than A Man Called Uva, and I know that's not really a popular opinion because this does have sort of whimsical aspects to it, but because our main character is a 7-year-old girl, I feel like those kind of aspects and bits of whimsy kind of make sense if you're thinking of it through like a child's eyes, I guess. But the ending of this book was so heartwarming, and I loved, again, the found family kind of aspect. I love books of friendship and found family, and I love when people who don't necessarily have a lot of humans in the world kind of make their own family, and I just love that so much, and this definitely does that. Next on the pile we have Green Glass House by Kate Milford, and this one is just sweet. It's an adorable story. It's this mystery, and these two kids get together and they go on this adventure in the Green Glass House where everybody is snowed in. It's kind of like this whodunit, and I loved this book so much. It was so warm and so cozy, and I know that it sort of centers around Christmas, but it's not like an overly holiday-esque book. This is a middle grade, but I adored the story. I adored the characters. I love Milo and Medi, and it was such a fun time. I can't get through this list without adding the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society to this list. This book was so warm and so sweet and so cozy, and I loved the sassiness of the main character, and I loved all the characters from Guernsey. They were so sweet and kind-hearted, and I adored them so much. I didn't end up giving this one a 5-star just because I felt certain aspects I wanted a little more from, but this book is like the epitome of a cozy hug. Next on the list we have Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, and this is a really recent read for me, but I loved every minute of this story, and I can't wait to get to the second book. I loved this so much. It was so sweet, and I, again, found family, friendship. I loved it. There is a talking cat in this book that is so sassy and so funny, and I love her. I adored this story so much, and it's just so cozy and sweet and warm and fun. It was really, really fun, and I think that's something that we need a little bit more of right now, is some fun to take our minds off of all the chaos and all the stuff that's going on, and so this book is definitely something that did that for me. This one is a really, really boring cover because I went through a time in my life where I was getting rid of dust jackets, and I got rid of this one. But this is Mindy Kaling's Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns, and this one is just one that is a really, really fast, funny read. Mindy Kaling is really, really funny, and I really enjoyed this book. I read it a couple years ago. I think I read it in like a day or two, and I just had a fun time reading it. It's pretty relatable, and she just tells a bunch of stories, and it's just a fun memoir. I would love to read her second one at some point. I just don't have it. This is definitely one that I would recommend if you're just looking for some really quick, fun, kind of like blog posty feeling books. This one is really fun. I can't get through this list without adding A Gentleman in Moscow to it. I loved this book so much. This is easily one of my favorite books of all time. There are so many great quotes in here, so many great thinking points, but it's warm and it's cozy, and if you like food, this book has you covered. I want to eat everything that the Count eats in this book. Even though this is based around a man who is sentenced to a lifetime of house arrest in the Metropole Hotel, which sounds pretty dark and sad, it is a really, really fun, warm, charming book. But I love the Count. I love his friends. I love the sort of family aspect of it. I loved his relationship. I loved everything about this book. I literally don't have a single complaint. If you love historical fiction and beautiful writing and food, then this is definitely one that you need to pick up. I just adore this book so, so, so much. Next on the pile, we have Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I haven't read this particular edition yet. This is new. I got it for Christmas from my friend Ashley, but I loved this story so much. Pride and Prejudice is like such a big hug of a book. It is so cozy and charming, and the characters are lovable, and I just adored every minute of being in this. I can't wait to read it again. It was so good, and I'm so glad I finally read it, but definitely one if you like classics and you like really sweet, wonderful, darling stories, I would definitely recommend Pride and Prejudice. And last but not least, I can't help it, I'm gonna put Bridge of Clay on this list because you guys know this is my all-time favorite book. This is just such a beautifully written piece of art, and I loved it so much, and I know that not everybody thinks that, but I love this story with the bottom of my heart. I love it so much, and I know that I've talked about how much this book makes me cry, but this book, well, it has some really, really sad moments, and this isn't too spoilery, but it does have a very heartwarming ending, and throughout the book there are a whole bunch of heartwarming, loving, lovely stories that made me laugh and just made me smile, and I love this family so much, and I just cannot get enough of this book, and I'm constantly recommending it, but like always on the side of, please don't hate me if you hate it. But Bridge of Clay, my all-time favorite book. I will go back to this one time and time again. I've already read it twice in the last 2 years, and I just adore this so much. All right, friends, that is my list of books that feel like a hug to me. I loved every single one of these. I had such a good time with them all, and I hope that you guys have some ideas that you could pick from. I know I didn't go into detail of what every single book is about, but like, that's why we have Goodreads. I just love these so much, and I hope that you guys are all doing well and able to take your mind off some of the stress and stay safe and stay healthy and just be aware and cautious of others. And I just hope that we can all continue to support each other and look out for each other and not just look out for ourselves. And I hope that you guys have a good week and a good weekend, and I will talk to you guys all soon.